Morning all, it's Lena here from So Small. Sorry it's been a while. As many of you probably know, life is just a bit hectic. We've had a few things, dodging this and there, so I just haven't felt like I've just had a chance to fill up myself and sit down in front of the camera and have a good chat with you all. I've been inspired lately. I've been watching a lot of or catching up on Tamlin's videos, and Tamlin does her videos under her sewing handle Sewn on the Time, and actually it's been inspiring me maybe doing a variety of different types of videos, as well as some of these like more formal sit down in front of you. So my last video I uploaded was a tour of my sewing room, and just a little update from that, but actually I've just had a little change around. So everything's still here. All I've done is taken my desk and I've just turned it around. I was just getting to the point that with some of where my window is and where the radiator is, I was just getting so hot in that small little my nice little snug area that actually I just felt like I needed to branch out. So I've managed to turn the table around. It's not interfered with my radiator too much. And actually I've generated so much more space just for me to feel looser and more comfortable while I'm sewing. So I thought I'd just catch you up on some of the things I've been sewing. I haven't done a sewing update really since August. So I think one of the last big things I showed you was a fabric haul. So I'm pretty sure I managed to sew up everything using the fabric that I'd bought on a little trip to Bristol. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. So one of the fabrics I bought was this soft pink knit, and I have made it up into my Tilly and the Buttons Bertha cardigan. So this time I added the pockets. I didn't quite read the instructions right, so this is only a single rather than a double like they say, but actually I think my overlocker would have struggled to go over 4 layers at this point, and actually they hold up quite well, so I'm really pleased with that. And I did the thumb holes and I'm in love. It just makes it that little bit more cozy. Since my first one, I added 10 centimeters to all the bodice pieces, so these two front pieces, the back piece, and then the neck bit, and it just lowers, for me it just brings it just a bit lower down on my hips, and it cuddles me in and it makes it even more snuggly. So I am really pleased with that, and I think I sewed this up within about a week of coming home from the shop. So very happy with this make. I love the pattern, and actually my 2 I've got, this one is definitely a little bit thicker for coming into winter. So yeah, definitely more. The other thing I'm wearing here is my Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top. Now I've had this for a little while. I got very lucky and picked it up very cheap in John Lewis. I'm not really sure why it's reduced, but it was reduced to a really good price. And then it's kind of sat there. And so September was the Sew Yourself Sustainable Challenge hosted by the New Craft House. And this kind of linked in with that, because this was actually a skirt. It was a jersey skirt, a flawless and a maxi skirt that a friend had given me and said, I don't wear it, it's not really for me, see what you can do with it. So I've managed to turn it into a Tilly and the Buttons Agnes. So I'm really pleased. I've made the long sleeve version, and actually I didn't quite have enough fabric for the sleeves to be done in one piece, so I've actually done them in 2, so I have a seam going up either side. Really doesn't matter, because actually I've done this a couple of times where I don't quite have a sleeve, so I've sacrificed and had a short sleeve rather than a long sleeve, and this time I wanted a long sleeve, so I've just done it in 2, and it's meant that actually I've got a really nice top. My friend said it looks much better as a top than it did as the skirt, and I really just like the neckline and the scoop and everything, so definitely hitting my sew again pile. So big thumbs up for a Tilly and the Button Agnes top. So I'm also going to draw your attention to this one. I'm not sure if I've shown this to you, but this was the dual neck dress from simple sew that had been on my to-do list pile for so long. So I've popped this one back on the mannequin to show you. So one of the other things that I was really excited that I got to take part in the last few months is I got to be a pattern tester. I got to be a pattern tester for a really lovely lady on Instagram called Faye. She's Faye Jepson, and she runs her own fabric shop studio out of her house, and it's at Studio Jepson on Instagram. And she decided she wanted to create her own patterns. She had a t-shirt, a ready-to-wear t-shirt she loved, and she just wanted to make it into a pattern because she loved it. She wanted to make more, and then she wanted everyone else to love making their own t-shirts. So I was selected as one of her pattern testers to make this t-shirt. So I ordered some fabric. Mine only came from Fabric Land, but they were really good. So this was the first one. So I will also put up a picture of me in it. It's just a really nice, simple t-shirt, grown on sleeve. There's this little cuff detail on the edge, which I kind of like because it just means I can finish this bit on the overlocker, which at the moment, sewing knits on my overlocker, as much as I can do on my overlocker, I am happy. A facing neckband, and then a dipped hem so that the back bodice is longer. It's got this curved hem, which actually I really love. It just brings it that bit lower. It just gives you that bit more coverage on the back, which with running around after a 2-year-old, it just gives you that confidence. And the fit, the slouchiness is just so comfortable. So I made my 2 versions for the pattern test, so a fit version, and then I've also made my final. And actually they're 2 slightly different jerseys. This is a thinner, more cotton jersey, where this actually was a crepe. And actually they both held up really nice. I really enjoyed sewing crepe jersey. It was the first time I'd done that. So I ordered 1.5 meters. When Faye sent out the pattern, she surmised that you would need 1.5 meters for each of these. So actually I only used up about 90 centimeters with a middle fold for both of those t-shirts. So actually I had quite a bit left over. So this then brings me on to some of the other things I've made. So again, looking at Sew Yourself Sustainable, thinking about my scraps, stuff I had left over, I did a lot of sewing for my daughter, using up some of those leftover fabrics I've had from all my projects, because I tend to squeeze as much as I can in order to give me some spare. So I managed to create these really nice leggings for Victoria, and I love this pattern because this one has a long waistband which then you can fold over, and it's good, nice coverage on the tummy. So I made this one with some of the leftovers from one of my t-shirts, and then I've also made her a t-shirt in that pattern, in a spoon flower pattern. So I've made a black plain t-shirt, and then I made a matching t-shirt in this using the same pattern. And then using the leggings pattern, I had some grey jersey that I made another pair, but this time just with the normal thinner waistband. So this leggings pattern comes with the options of a thin waistband or a thick waistband. I just didn't quite have enough on the fold to find enough for the thick waistband, so I did the thinner one, and they're still just really nice. It's the cut and style just hug their little legs perfectly, so I'm really pleased with them. With the leftover from my second t-shirt, I made another sew over it Poppy and Jazz pansy dress, so long sleeve, just in that light, and it's just easy, it's comfortable, wear it with tights at the moment. I have plans with a couple of leftover fabrics that I've got from future projects, and I might see if I can try and add a ruffle to the shoulders to just add something different to some of her jersey dresses, but I put them in there a lot. They're easy just for running around and being at home. So then the last 2 makes I made for her, again it's a Poppy and Jazz pattern. It's the strawberry sweatshirt. So I made her this little one first. Again, love this pattern. Didn't take long to whip up because it can do it all on the overlocker with a neckband, sleeve cuffs and a waistband. It just all meant it's all enclosed. So this was leftovers from a jacket I made, another Poppy and Jazz pattern, the Honeydew hoodie, which is the inside, it's got the snap crossover and you can wear it inside, or reversible is the word I'm looking for. So this was leftover from one of the layers of her Honeydew hoodie, and I've made a lovely little strawberry sweatshirt, and they're just snuggly and cozy. And then I was also able to make her another one using the leftovers from my Bertha cardigan. So again, another little ribbed jumper, cute little mummy and matching, slightly not exactly matching, but I'm hoping there's still a bit of this left over, and I'm going to try and work out and see if I can make her a little cardigan pattern. So I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can out of my fabrics to really reduce the waste. And having just watched a repeat of one of the previous season of the Sewing Bee, they said about 30% of fabric bought by home sewers is then wasted by leftovers. So I'm really trying to squeeze that number down and get the most out of all my fabrics. And as you know, I'm very happy to have a full length of fabric and actually get a couple of patterns out of it, and so I will plan them both so I can squeeze the most out of the fabrics. So those are all the little makes I've made for Victoria. So I was really pleased. I've almost made like a little capsule wardrobe, using up my leftovers, trying out some new children's patterns. So I was very happy with that. And then I also made up my this jersey. So this one I bought a wee while back from at pound a metre, and I was able to squeeze out of it the sew over at Edie tops. This was my first sew over at Edie top. I do have a photo I can put in of me wearing it. Again, I really liked this pattern because it was just a front, a back and some sleeves. So this was where I'd squeezed the two main bodices of my two patterns out of the fabric, and then I sacrificed on the sleeves. But being as this was August, end of September, there was plenty of sun and heat left. Actually, I didn't mind having them as a short sleeve, but I know I've got another Edie dress version cut out, and I've gone for the full 3/4 length sleeves. It's in a thicker jersey for more winter wear. Very pleased with the fit of this. So this is a sew over at Edie top, found in their second ebook worked weekend. So the other project I also made out of this was the Tabitha t-shirt dress. So I was able to, so I squeezed this was the main option, and I managed to squeeze the easy top out of it as well. I have a photo wearing it. Love this pattern. I like how it just kind of sits. I've definitely got plans to make it again. This is a polyester jersey, so I want to make it in a cotton jersey just for it to be a little bit softer and hopefully just a bit more thicker for hopefully winter wear, because I also want to make it in the long sleeve version for more winter coziness. But easy pattern. I've made the t-shirt already to make up a pair of Juno pyjamas, so it was just adding the skirt draft pattern and then making the channel, and that came through really nicely. So I'm really pleased with how that one turned out. So one of the other sewing plans I told you about was making the Sew Over It Ultimate Shift Top, but making the lace version that Lisa had recently done the sew along for. And I think this was the first one I made straight after I bought the fabric. And I'm so pleased with how it comes out. The lace feels really nice. I like the detail, I like the pattern. I've done it so it sits on the bottom, and I've cut out the edges so it's not like a straight, you've got the diamond cut. And it just fits really nice. It's slightly cropped. It's definitely one I wear with my my high-waisted jeans. I'm just really pleased with that one. It's definitely something I've had my eye on since watching Lisa make her first version of it many years ago on her channel. So very pleased with this one. I just got to wait for restrictions to go, so I have somewhere definitely to go out and wear that one. Pattern was so easy to do that I then also made it up in some of the fabric I bought in London all those years ago. So this time I did do the keyhole back with my little hook, an eye fastening, and I did 3/4 length sleeves. So just a more of a winter weight top. This fabric's a little bit thicker, a sturdier cotton. I think again with some jeans. I did make this one longer. I was limited with the first one because I only got 1 meter of the lace, and it was quite a thin fabric, so it didn't have much width to it. So with this one I had lots of width, so I was able to actually make it a bit longer and go for the longer sleeves. So I'm really pleased with that one. Again, it's really comfy to wear, and I just like how quick it is to sew up. So those were my 2 ultimate shift dress tops. Still more plans to make them, and hopefully to make a full shift length dress. So with one of the other plans I told you about was I wanted to make I wanted to make the Tilly and the Buttons Suki dress. I've wanted this for ages. I liked the style with the waistband that kind of cinches it in, makes it more fitted. I'd had this gorgeous fabric. I thought, oh, that'd be really nice back in the spring. And then when I laid it out, it didn't have enough length to make the dress how I wanted it. I want it to be long, not short, because a lot of the dresses I make on me always come short due to the length. So then I was finally able to make it out of this fabric. I didn't have to quite interface everything. As it said, it is a thicker fabric, so I got away with not so much interfacing. So obviously I did interface the facings. I didn't interface the ties because actually there's enough weight to them. I did interface the belt loops, and I really enjoyed making the belt loops and doing all that. I didn't quite enjoy turning the ties out. I followed the method of putting the thread down, and on the first one the thread broke, so then I'm there trying to pull through what turned out to be slightly stiff fabric, trying to get it through to get the tie. The second one worked a lot easier. I wanted the second one to happen first and it would be fine, but we got there in the end. So I've got a photo of me wearing this dress, so comfortable. I then did make a nice summer dress at the end of September as the weather started to turn. So I might have to see if I can alter my styling and make it more winter wear. And someone who's really good at inspiring more winter stylings for some summer dress is Charlene. She's on Instagram as SO. So I've got to check this. It's SO So Dressmaking. So she's Charlene, and then her surname begins with no, and then it's So SEW Dressmaking. She's on Instagram and she's on YouTube, and she's got lovely reels of where she comes from Northern Ireland, so it's a bit chillier up there, so she's got really good ways of winter way styling up dresses, so she'll be good inspiration for that, so I'll tag her below. And then the last fabric I showed you was that viscose jersey that I picked up that was only about £2 a metre, and I did manage to make my AK Patterns Abbey jumpsuit. Now, when I first made this, I panicked halfway through and I thought, oh, it's not gonna fit me with from my waist down to the rise, and I ended up adding in this little channel, of which it did work, and I wore it and it was happy, but actually I kind of felt it was still a bit too loose. So I bit the bullet and I took that extra panel channel I'd put in, which I'm glad I did it that way rather than elongating the bodice as I have done on previous wrap jumpsuits, because I've sewn it up the right way, just bodice straight into trousers, and it does fit fine. And it's so comfortable. I wore it with some ankle boots on a weekend away with friends, and it's just a really nice, the jersey is nice and thick so it can be cosy, as well as actually it's being loose. And then we were on a beach and it went from being quite windy while we're on the beach, to sat in a cafe having a coffee outside baking, and actually the weight of the jersey managed to cope with both types of weather. So I'm really pleased with this. It's so comfortable, easy to get on and off. It's a jumpsuit. We ladies know the issues we have when it comes to on and off jumpsuits. So happy with that one. Definitely a pattern I'd happily make again as well. So that was a make towards the end of September, and then so far in October I haven't done as many, but I did finally look at another Tilly in the Buttons pattern that my sister bought me for Christmas last year, and it was the Cocoa. And I was looking at my fabric stash, and I was looking at this fabric that I kind of set aside for, in my head I wanted to make the Sew Over It Audrey top, but I don't have that pattern. I had the Cocoa pattern and I have this fabric, and it was a case of, do I sit there and wait until I eventually buy a pattern I don't have, or actually do I use this fabric and make a pattern I do have? I'm starting to feel, being at home, being a bit colder, I quite like jersey dresses to sit in. I've been pulling out my Freya dress I made at the beginning of the year loads, so I thought, do you know what, I'm going to make the Cocoa, and I'm so glad I did. So the fabric was this grey ponte with black spots, and I've made it into the Cocoa. Again, didn't quite have enough for a full sleeve, so I cut it into two. I did most of the front part of the sleeve is one, and then the back bit, of which a panel you can't see when you're wearing it from the front, is in two parts. But it meant I got the long sleeves, perfect for winter, and this dress is just so cozy. I like the neckline, I like the length, I like the weight. I want to make more, I want lots more. So I'm glad I finally bit the bullet and just had a go with wearing it. I felt really pleased when I wore it somewhere, and I said, oh, I made this dress, and they were like, nah, and the compliment was, it looked really good, I thought it was, you bought it. So for me, that felt like such a good compliment. But I did slow down. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take, I could have whipped it up quicker, but I thought I'm just going to slow myself down. I've got time, let's take my time with it. And it really worked, combination of my sewing machine and my overlocker to get it all through. Really pleased. So I used a little red ribbon I had for the stabilising the shoulders. Actually, that I kind of like the little pop of red that maybe might inspire me to do a bit more colour blocking with some of my projects in the future. So that was the last make. That was my beginning of October last make in this kind of pile of letting you know what I've been up to. I have a stash of projects cut out. If you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I kind of mentioned that I said to myself, bought some fabric off at pound a metre. They had 3 metres of jersey for £5. I have a curtain that was given to me by my mother-in-law that they had spared. They cut into it to make seat covers, so I had the leftovers. So I've got that project, I've got that cut into 2 projects. So I've got the curtain cut into a Tilly in the Buttons Clio, and I'm going for the longer knee length one because I had enough fabric. And I've also got it cut into a Sew Over It Ivy skirt, because of the beauty of 2 of those pattern pieces being cut on the one layer. It meant when the cutout from the chair cover had already been taken out, I had plenty of fabric. I didn't have to worry about doubling up. So they're sat there ready to go. My jersey has been cut into a bibby pinafore skirt dress from Tilly in the Buttons' second book, her stretch book. It's also been cut into the Edie boat dress, which is the Sew Over It pattern from their second ebook. I also picked up some black jersey because I've made a lot of pretty bold pattern things, and I need to use plain colours. I need to start making some coordinates that I can wear with my patterned pinafores or my brightly coloured Clios. So I've got black jersey there that's cut into a Freya normal mock neck, and then I've also got one that I've cut into a cow neck. So I'm really excited to try something different. I did want to do the ruffle, and then when the jersey arrived, it's quite loose, it's a bit thinner, and I thought this isn't going to hold the ruffle that's a suggestion in her book. So, but it would look really nice in a cow. So I've got that one cut out. And I've also got cut out a toile of Sew Over It cami top that I managed to pick up the pattern that came. It was part of a magazine deal a year or so back, so I've got that one cut out to see how that one works, sizing and stuff. Hopefully it'll be wearable. The fabric did have a snag and I didn't quite have enough, so I think the snag is somewhere. I'm hoping it's not too visible, but I like the fact that they're all cut out, they're all notched, and I can just grab one and I can start sewing now. It took me 2 days in order to cut out all of these projects. So I like how I feel like I'm organised, they're ready. Yeah, and I've gone through, I feel I'm being a bit more sustainable with reusing fabric. I'm really pleased with how well I'm reusing fabric. I managed, because I try and squeeze as much in, I know I've got enough left over of the jersey that I'm going to make a dress for Victoria, and that's the one I'm going to ruffle. And then if I can make leggings or shorts or something with the rest of the jersey, I'm going to do that for her. I know I've also got enough left over of this fabric that I want to make her a top and a skirt. So it'll be the Poppy and Jazz skirt pattern that I've made before. It's escaped me of what the name of that skirt one is. So I'll make that, and then I've kind of had ideas for my own sort of pattern to make a top with a ruffle across the front, with as the top, just for something a bit of a different detail. So it might be short sleeve. I might even try and work out to make it a long sleeve length for her. So I've got enough fabric that I can play around with that for her, and then we can be matching, because I don't mind a bit of mummy and daughter matching because it's a bit fun. So I think that's all from me. I've actually really enjoyed to come back on, sit here, have a chat with you, explaining what I've been doing, and hopefully we'll do a bit more. I kind of want to show you a bit more of me actually sewing. I like Tamlin's little snippets. She pops on and she has a bit of a chat about what she's doing and sewing a bit here and there. So I feel I might try some of those, a bit of a sew along with me, what am I up to, as well as some of these kind of sit down, have a chat, what we're up to, what have I been sewing, what do I want to sew as well. So yeah, so I'm happy with the space. I feel this has been much nicer. I don't feel like crouched into that tiny corner in order to talk to you. You can see my lovely wall in all its glory, because I do love my sewing wall and my newly painted little unit on the side there to match, and it all fits in really nice. So yeah, I think that's all for me. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Just builds up my channel. I'd love to get bigger and bigger and push that forward. Obviously hit the notification bell and then you'll hear when I've posted. If you're on Instagram, please follow me. I'll put my Instagram tag here again, so that's at SewSmall25, and you can catch up with some of my makes and my goings on there, a few additions, alterations I've made to patterns to make them wearable again. I just put all my little sewing musings on there, so please do follow me on Instagram. So I think that's all. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.